All right, guys, welcome back to Basement Talk. We got Julian Payne in the house. Let's give him a round of applause. And we got Corey Maggette again. We took a little bye week. He's back on Basement Talk. He's a bye week. We took a little bye week, but yeah, he's back. We're super excited to have him back. And I just want to talk about how this man is sitting in this chair right now, which is all thanks to you guys, but it's nuts how the internet works. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, get into it. So this video about the secretive barber, Corey was talking about.
Kobe was gatekeeping.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant was gatekeeping. Corey was talking about some secret barber that nobody knew about, and the internet found him. Yeah. And I just want you to say, like, how did that happen too? Like, what was the first moments you saw that video going viral? Because I think it's almost at 1 million views now.
Oh my
That's kind of how you're sitting in this chair.
Crazy. Man, you know, my clients and friends from the East Coast to West Coast, man, I got like grenade launched to like all these like to my DM. Yo, this. And sometimes I'm like not really on Instagram as much, especially during the day because I'm like working. And I'm getting this, I'm like, oh, I recognize that face. That's my guy, Corey Maggette. Okay. So I press it and I'm like, they said, watch it till the end. And I watch and he's like, yeah, Julian Payne. And it's like the echoes went in my ear, Payne. And I'm just like, wow, that's incredible. So, man, I was just like, okay, let's see. You know, you put the phone down and just ping, 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 ping. It just kept going day after day, week after week. And that's how we here. I think I reached out to Corey, or your brother, Jimmy. Yeah. And then I was like, yo, hey, I know I ain't talked to you in a long time, but see if we can get in contact with Corey. And then somehow I found you guys.
I saw your message come in, and
you hit me, right?
Yeah, I hit you. We were on a group call about another thing about how like the NBA saw the clip as well.
Okay.
Which was nuts. So we were on the phone. It was like a Sunday. It was totally about something separate. And then I was going through the DMs on the account, and we were getting a ton of DMs from that clip. But these days, you don't know what's real and what's fake.
Exactly.
So then I was like, hey, Corey, this DM came in. It looked like it was him. So I told him, he's like, dude, that's him. And I sent the account right away. And then we started kind of freaking out on the phone with Marcus, too. It was pretty crazy.
You know what's crazy about that, right? That entire thing is that, you know, I haven't talked to Julian. Shoot, it's probably been 8 years. It was definitely when I got traded to Golden State. And when we think about the grand scheme of like this secret barber, I was looking at a lot of those comments, and you've probably seen it too. You know, people like, man, Kobe didn't have a good haircut. I'm like, wait, hold on, fellas. Hold on, everybody. Damn. Listen to me right now. Listen to me, okay? Where is your antennas? If you look at from 2000, before Kobe left his barber right next to me, he had the best haircuts on the planet. And he has a resume of people that can vouch for that. So when I saw those comments that people say, oh man, he didn't have, you know, his haircut wasn't the best. I'm like, bro, you got to look at some of those commercials when Kobe was in the beginning.
You got to you got to look at, he had 6 championships?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. He didn't win a championship after I stopped cutting him.
You think that's the reason?
From his first to his last. I'm just saying.
Let's clip that right there.
So tell us, though, because we're talking about it, like how you and Kobe actually met, because we heard how you two met, but how did you and Kobe meet?
So this is crazy how God aligns my life, right? So I'm originally from Washington, D.C., DMV area. I'm a rookie barber. Go to this barbershop in Laurel, Maryland, cracking. Like
He's humble.
Instantly start making money. Like Laurel, Maryland is small, okay? So I leave that shop, start completely over. I have no knowledge of like how I'm gonna make money now. In comes like this radio host or whatever. He's like, yo, y'all got a good barbershop. I'm gonna plug you guys with Biz Markie, legendary DJ, rapper. He comes in, we're like, yo, this guy's a legend. Starts cutting hair, but fast forward, I get the itch to go out to LA and become a supermodel.
Whoa.
No way.
I get the itch.
We got clips of that. Yeah. We got to get some clips.
Their pictures. Oh, my God.
Where did that itch come from?
I did some modeling, like, you know, you know how you get the John Casablanca little stuff. This is like way back in the day. I'm telling my age now. But not that it wasn't panning out for L.A. I just quickly realized that I was kind of like on a little bit of a wild goose chase with cutting hair and stuff. So Biz Markie was like, I got you. Like, we became close. He knew I wanted to move to L.A., fly out. I'm here, settled. He calls me up. Hey, we about to do this party. I'm like, cool. The only way I get in, carry his records, right? Carrying his records into this party, turns out it's Kobe Bryant's 21st birthday party.
What year was this?
Wow, this was 99?
Wow.
That had to be a crazy party.
Yeah.
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 A lot of legs walking around in there. A lot of legs. Yeah, so that was my introduction to probably like the first, NBA party. I actually, his party turned out great. I have fragmented memory of it, but turned out really good. But Kobe's brother-in-law, Jared Washington, actually, I got introduced to him. He was kind of like I don't want to call him gatekeeper, but he was Kobe's guy, you know what I'm saying? Obviously family. And he came to the barbershop where I was working at because Biz's manager, Lamont Wanza, rest in peace, he put him on to me. And he came, he was like, gave him a cut. Jared's from Philly. We know how Philly is about haircuts. Yeah. They serious. But Jared had a closed haircut. I was like, this is easy. Eyes closed, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, yo, you do house calls? I was like, yeah, I do house calls. So he was like, yo, give me your number. I think Kobe wants you to do a house call. So I was like, okay, cool. I was a basketball guy. I grew up in Maryland, D.C. It's like basketball is like our life. But I wasn't really like watching for Kobe like rookies, you know what I'm saying? So it was good to meet him, you know what I mean? So that's how I kind of met him, humbly, you know what I mean?
When Kobe was 21, was he already like, he was kind of popping off, or he was?
Yeah.
Dang.
I think the closer we got, I didn't really realize, I don't think he knew where he was going, but I don't think he understood because maturity hadn't kicked in, especially basketball maturity hadn't really kicked in for him. But I think after his first championship, that's when I think the lights came on a little bit.
Set in. Number 8.
And none of us existed during that time.
Yeah, we were all
yeah. But he definitely had an idea of where he was going.
So what about your family? Did they move as well, or it was just you?
At that particular time, my daughter was just born. So I had Kobe for 1 year. Wow, yeah. For the first year, I think that summer, 99, the summer, this is when we talking about rapper Kobe. A lot of people don't know Kobe was signed to Columbia Records and was coming out with an album. I don't know what happened to it, but he shot a video. I worked the video. That's when he met his wife, obviously. And I remember us being at the house for holidays with Kobe. And I got a chance to meet Vanessa. And actually, my daughter, and his sister, I think they were about to have a kid too. They're the same age. Jared's daughter and my daughter, same age. So yeah, there's a lot happening like that first year with Kobe.
And how long did you work with Kobe?
Ooh, from 99 to 2006. So all his championships with the Lakers.
So obviously you got to learn a lot about him, and you guys would talk a lot. Is there anything you picked up from his mindset or anything that he taught you? That I'd love to hear some stuff, dude.
Let's slow down because I got some years on Kobe. I think I got about 4 or 5 years on him. He didn't really know me. I didn't really know him, but we got a chance to know each other on a very special level. And what I mean by that is I'm a thinker. You know what I'm saying? I read a lot of books. You can't survive in L.A. and do well without having a certain mindset. Let's get that straight, one off the top. So, funny story. I never told this to anybody. So, Kobe likes to play mind games, as we know this, right? So I'm in the house. At this time, he's in Palisades. He's in Palisades, top of the hill, his crib, right? I go in. Obviously, Vanessa's there. She's always upstairs, whatever. I'm cutting cobes downstairs. And we kind of like have these like conversations. Just either I'm like super quiet. Corey will tell you, either I'm talking, or it's just like quiet, letting you have your piece. You know what I mean? At this particular time, I asked Kobe a question because I think we had some kind of like mind game banter before. I said, "What would you rather have? The money or the access that comes along with it?" And he was like, "What would you have?" I was like, "Come on, man." like answer the question, right? So fast forward, he was like, my price was my price with Kobe. Let me tell you something. Kobe was cheap, okay? I'm gonna let y'all know. That dude was cheap. He didn't like to pay. And I was just like, this dude he's gonna be the death of me, man. So after every cut, he would ask me. He would stand there with his wallet, like from afar, getting ready to pay me. He says, "Hey, yo, how much is it?" Like, I've been cutting you for a whole year.
You do this every cut?
Sure, it felt like every cut. It felt like every Kobe, just tell me you don't want to pay for the cut. Like, I'm just like, dog. So I'm like, I got something for this guy. I was like, I need to let him know who I am without letting him know. So I was reading this book called 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. And I went and bought a paperback. I said, I'm gonna show this dude what's up. I signed it in there from your barber, Julian. Appreciate you, bro. And I bring it to the house. And I'm like, "Hey, yo, man, I got you something. Check this out." And he was like, "All right, I'll check it out." Like that, right? I'm like, okay, cool. Now, there's two sides of this book. Y'all know where Robert Greene, this 48, there's two sides of this book, right? There's the benevolent side and there's the savage side. I'm not saying, but I think Kobe applied a lot of those principles to his game. You know what I'm saying? So, from my perspective, I might have, I'm not saying I created the mama, but definitely, I think the monster was definitely in him, and he liked to control that part. So we had a lot of good back and forth, mental gymnastics, if that's what you want to call it.
So after Kobe, how did you build up? I know you have a crazy clientele and network. How did it go after that?
I would say this. I was fortunate enough to work on Melrose. This time of the year in like 99 through like 2004, I think Melrose Avenue was like turned. It's hip hop. I mean, don't forget about like LA was a lot of money floating around in LA. A lot of videos, everybody was coming to town. So I worked in this barbershop, called the Barbershop Club on Melrose, no longer there. And I was fortunate, it was the only black barbershop on Melrose, almost in LA, almost, that celebrities will go to. Record execs, celebs, and we talked about timing before the show. Well, I was one of the only East Coast barbers out here on the West Coast that had everything lined up from the connections. My sister was a songwriter, and she's written hits for tons of people, Brandy, Michael Jackson, Britney Spears, J-Lo. So I had that, kind of like had those relationships, and she kind of helped usher me in, compound that with Biz Markie and the barbershop, everything just from the line. But my talent was to use the razor, and a lot of guys wasn't using that at that time, so I had the edge, no pun intended, but I had that. Yeah. I had the edge, and the razor really helped me push me into like, okay, this is the guy. So, Def Jam, Priority Records, Capitol Records. I mean, all the rappers would come in. If they was flying here for a video shoot, I was cutting them. Yeah, so a lot of celebrities.
So go back a little bit to the like the story. Then you talk about how Kobe was hiding you quite a bit.
Yeah,
that's true. So were there 100%. A lot of players hitting you up or trying to find you? And then why was he hiding you though? Like, what's the real reason? Was he like? Tell me, like, what was it?
Nice.
I know you're good at. You're super good at cutting. But
yeah,
was there like some hidden secrets he's telling you and stuff?
Anything that Kobe, I think, could have an edge. He's he's super competitive. On the court, off the court. And we can get into the off the court later. I realized that early. And I'm a good read of people. I mean, me and Corey, we'll sit and talk all day. Like all day. Our guards are down, but Kobe just didn't want to give you that edge. You can't get inside. You can't penetrate this, right? So I think that with that, he just kept his, he kept his guard up a lot. You feel me? But yeah, I had to do it kind of like a roundabout way to get close to him.
I don't even think most people know, and I don't even know if you knew in the beginning like how it all happened. From the Barber situation where I met at church. And so when you think about that part of it and, say the ultimate gatekeeper at that time was no other than
you lived it. I mean, you lived
Rob Pelinka.
Yeah.
And so there's no disrespect to Rob because Rob did everything for Kobe. Like that was Kobe's,
sure.
That was like his best friend.
For sure.
When you look at what he did for him and his family. I mean, Rob's wife, Kristen, she's a doctor. So everyone knew that Rob was his guy. Rob wanted to make sure and protect Kobe at all costs. So when I think about this story, trying to find a barber, I mean, of course I could have went anywhere, right? You can go.
That's true.
You can look anywhere to try to find a barber.
Yeah.
But this was even really before social media was even big.
Did he have the afro?
Yeah.
Okay. That's legendary. That's legendary.
And when you think about that, I'm like, man, listen, I had a low haircut now, and now it's Kumo D Baldy right now. And
you look good, bro.
And I'm like, man, I wanted to go to the right people, but like I just remember, hey Corey, yeah, I'm gonna have to check with him. But again, the secrecy came from this guy, right? And Julian was, you were like the same way. Because if my guard was down and we have a conversation, but when he came in to cut, it was just like, hey man, I gotta come out too. I'm cutting Kobe's hair. I gotta go, I gotta go really quick. I'm gonna cut you up and then I'm gonna go down.
Oh yeah.
Cut his hair. So it was like this secret thing. So both of those guys were so similar. And early on, when you think about Kobe's career, no one knew what he was doing except him.
For sure.
Whoever was in this circle, his family, they knew what he was doing. But when you think about the player in the beginning, employee number eight, he didn't want to have anything to do with anyone else because he wanted to have an edge, like you said. And the only way you're going to be able to have an edge is like, all right, I'm going to work out at 3 in the morning. I'm going to get all this stuff done so I can have multiple workouts. And when it comes time and these people are trying to figure out what I'm going to do, they won't even know what hit them.
It's too late.
And I remember during that time, when it's early on in my career, that we'll go hoop at this place in Santa Monica. And a guy by the name of Coach Gergevich will run these big basketball kind of clinics to get guys ready for the NBA season. And all of a sudden, Kobe shows up. Like it's damn like a vampire, just came out of nowhere. And the gym just stopped. Because you've never seen Kobe out training with anyone else, being involved with anyone else when it came to that. But because he had the respect for Coach Gergevich and a few other guys at that time, Neil O'Shea, that was the president of the Portland Trailblazers was the guy. He basically was a guy opening up the gym before he was a GM. And so when you look at that part of it, as my phone is blowing up, he came in with this, he was stealth from that standpoint. And he wanted to keep everything in-house. And so that's to the point where you couldn't find this cat unless Julian, saw, hey, the connection with other people. But it was a secret society when it came to
that.
Yeah.
Okay, but we talk about how that's applying to like the mind games. What is that really doing? Because if you're a competitor to Kobe, like gatekeeping a Barber, what is that doing? like seriously, like how he was just so deep about it, huh?
Yeah, it's like you gotta going to see the Don. You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
it was like the mafia,
The Godfather
type show.
Did that annoy you too? Because you couldn't get referrals.
No, I was eating regardless if Kobe was. Trust
you were
me,
cool.
he couldn't stop.
Okay, so
he couldn't stop.
He's
stop
training though. Like his training schedule is crazy. What time would you cut his hair?
That's
Like
a good question.
And then was he one of those guys that were like last minute, like, oh, I gotta go to Kobe's house real quick?
I'm trying to figure out who would. Oh, Kobe would call me. He would text me.
I drive my barber nuts, dude.
Yeah,
I'm such a last.
Like,
I'm a last minute
photo
guy.
shoots were definitely always ahead of time. Anything when he was doing music videos was ahead of time, but personal stuff, it was respectable. You know what I'm saying? Kobe was he was a family guy.
100%.
He was a family guy. So at a young age, he wanted that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's very close with his siblings, and he grew up, of course, overseas, like with his family. So he was always close. He wanted to emulate that. So it wasn't that like late night. No, he was getting his rest. When I was cutting him, he was watching film.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? So he was mental gymnastics while I was cutting him, and I took a lot of just kind of like behind the scene notes from him. I've seen some. I put it to you this way: the guys who are on top, the guys who still look great like Corey, there's a reason why. You know what I'm saying? They put in work, but their mindset, Kanye, 50, Kobe, Usher. These they not normal, man. Corey, they're not normal people that just get up and go to work 8 hours a day. No, this is what you don't see. Like 48 Laws of Power talks about the story of the racehorse, where from afar looks graceful. You're like that, but the closer you get up, if you're on the back of that horse, you like it's sweating, it's breathing, it's nostrils, it's snotting, it's going through the grunt work to get to the finish line. You know what I'm saying? So Kobe was. I didn't tell you about the China store when I went to Beijing, Hong Kong with him. That was wild.
Oh, you talking about when it was? No, I remember the story you told me. You said it was like he was the president. The president came in.
really?
It was a problem, man. It was a problem. I think ESPN did an article on it back in the day, but he calls me up. He's like, "Yo, Jules, I need you to." I can't sound like him like Corey. You sound like you do it.
Corey's got the impression.
You got the voice down.
No, but I was
good at the voice.
No, but that's the way he talked, as well as like how Rob, right? I used to make fun of Rob when hey, Cole, and Corey gets together, make sure it's good. But it was just a whole different thing messing with those guys.
Yeah. So he invites me to China, and I'm like, this is when he's with Adidas. He takes me. He's like, yo, you can. I need you to come cut my hair in China. We're going to do China. We're going to do Germany, Hong Kong, So I'm like, okay, all right. You can bring somebody too. I'm like, okay, Kobe nice today. So I call my mom. He's like, yo, you got to get you got a passport, Jules? Like, nah. So I'm like down at the Chinese consulate. I'm like running to go get stuff, right? I'm like, cool, Adidas gonna pick it up? I'm like, cool. So I call my mom, hey, you wanna go to China? She was like, why not? She flies to LA. We go to LAX, it's a private jet. I'm like, ooh, this is nice. And then next thing I know, we on a big plane, not the private jet. I was like, ooh, thank God, because they don't have to refuel. It's gonna be a whole thing. So we get to China. Rob's there, the whole Adidas like welcome committee or whatever. And we go, man, I'm in here with China with Cole, man, and we get into the hotel, we check in, and then we start doing like the tour. Of course, he wants a haircut every other day. You know what I mean? Like, of course, man, you want me to work my ass off. Like, this thing, you just got a haircut before we left, right? So I'm in there, man. We dinner, go to different restaurants, but this one particular time is like he's got to go to Tiananmen Square. Y'all know what Tiananmen Square is, right?
No.
Historically, okay. So there's a big thing on the Tiananmen Square, like conflict between the citizens of China and the government of China, which we know is communist country. Whereas the picture, if you ever seen this picture of a person standing in front of a tank, as if to say you will not pass, and this tank is like inching forward.
Historic picture.
Yeah, you seen that picture?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, that's Tiananmen Square. Kobe is going to show up in Tiananmen Square, which is a huge statement. Put it to you this way. We are outside of the gates for about an hour and a half waiting to get in. The government would not let Kobe in. Why? Because A, he's an American, right? And B, he's like this iconic figure. People, it's masses of people there. And I don't know what was like, wasn't like any kind of conspiracy thing or nothing like that. It was just that he bought such a presence that I think they were just like, they didn't want to lose control of the crowd.
I feel like I remember this. There was like a legendary photo of it somewhere. Of the crowd and stuff. This sounds familiar.
If you've seen it, then I haven't seen it because they didn't print. I don't even think that story was actually told. I just know that the ESPN article talked about how Kobe treated his staff over there, and it was, you know.
Wasn't that good?
Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
it was good.
I mean, there were times it was good, but I mean,
There were other times.
yeah, Kobe was interesting. No disrespect to Kobe. Kobe was young. He's a great athlete, great guy, actually. But this particular time, we had downtime, right? So I'm like telling my mom, like, hey, I'm gonna go shopping. Now, I'm probably one of two, maybe three black people over there in the middle of Beijing. You know what I'm saying? American citizen, aside from somebody that might be in the military or whatever. Walking around, I catch a cab. I'm from DC, so I'm like, I can maneuver. Not to say I'm the smartest guy, but I know how to get somewhere if I do, okay? So I get to the shopping area where it's at. And mind you, we had just come back from, I think, Tiananmen Square or something we did. So like I said, it was downtime. So I'm taking my time shopping. I'm out for like 3 hours, right? I get back in the, do I have a cell phone? Yes, I do. On a cell phone, I get a call. I think his name was Sasha. He was the Adidas liaison. He said, hey, where are you? Kobe needs a cut. I'm like, I just cut him the other day, like yesterday. He needs a cut. Can you come back to the hotel? You know, it was just sound like it was urgent. So I like, got in a cab, was like, Hyatt, please, you know, take me there. Go to my room, get my clippers, go back over. He's sitting there. He said, hey, yo, where was you at? I was like, I was shopping. Like,
Vacation.
I'm shopping. Like, we just, we was looking for you, this and that. So I give him the whole spiel, like, rundown, like, yeah, I was shopping, man. You know, I had to wait for a cab. Obviously, I don't speak Chinese. Like, wait for a cab, took some time to get it. Now I'm back. It was like, all right, well, you know, just stay close next time. All right, cool, man. So I get back to my room, lay down, whatever. Every does off, the phone rings. I'm like, hello? Hi, Julian, this is Sasha. Yeah, Cope's not happy with, so you went shopping or whatever? And I was like, yeah, I literally just talked to Cope. Oh yeah, he's not happy with the situation. I'm like, we're gonna come down there and talk to you, whatever, right? So I'm like,
Hey, you told me this story.
hey, Ma, wake up. They coming down here to talk to us or whatever, right? So they come down, talk. They were like, it's just, we don't know what happened. You said you went shopping or whatever, right? So it's like, yeah, you guys are going to have to leave. Whoa. I'm like, all right, well, when? Like tomorrow? 2 days from now? They was like, no, now. I'm like, oh, okay. I said, Ma, I guess get up. It's hard to shake me, for one. I'm not gonna be like, please, like, what we gonna do? You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, okay, Ma, let's get going, right? So we pack up and we go to an airport hotel. You know what I'm saying? It was like the downgrade joint, right? I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm like, fear for my safety type of joint. So
Dang.
They get us tickets, man. We on the flight probably six hours later back to the States. And I was like, yo, this is weird. So what I think, I was like, a lot of thoughts went in my head. I think what happened was that, number one, we didn't sign any paperwork, no liability paperwork. So you got two people over there in China. If something would have happened, it would have been, I'm gone for 3 hours. So I had to put that into my head, but they didn't want to give me that information. I had to put those pieces together, right? So I was like, okay, maybe, but still, it's like, why would they send me back? You know what I mean?
Was that your last cut with Kobe? Was that
No?
So did you ever ask him?
I remember telling you guys about the mental gymnastics. I did, but this is what I did. I took it on the chin, right? The trip. I was like, listen, I know I messed up. I didn't mess up. I know I messed up. This is how I'm gonna make it up to you. I'm gonna give you free cuts for the total of the trip. He's like, okay.
No reaction.
Dang.
You mother. That's when I knew. I was like, I'm dealing with a real, okay.
Dang.
Okay.
Killer.
So, Cole, it's this competition thing where he is not going to lose. I don't want to say personal or business, but for him and I, it was business. It wasn't personal. So he took the opportunity because he didn't pay for nothing. Adidas paid for that. And I was over there on my own dime. I wasn't getting paid. I just took the trip. Like, yo, it's an experience. Mom, let's go. Let's do this, right? So he was like, cool. I gave him every cut. And then I was like, I got something for him. I wrote him a letter. I don't think I told. I might have told you this.
I think you told me when you came.
I wrote a business letter, a letterhead, and was like, because this is when he was living in Costa Mesa. He hit me with the, how much is it? He hit me with the how much is it again, right? And I think he was trying to negotiate the cost. It's like $120 at this point. It's like, come on, man. I'm driving from North Hollywood all the way down Laguna. Toll, y'all know they got the toll road out here.
You're not
Gas.
really making a buck.
Gas every
Not adding
time. So I literally wrote him a letter, man, breaking this down. What my cost was. I was like, dude, I might be making $20. You're paying for my time, right? And I was at the Lakes facility. I put in the envelope, licked it, sealed it, wrote his name on there. So when he sat down, I was like, this for you. He opens it and he's like leaning over reading it. And I'm just cutting him, right? Not saying anything. He's reading it. And he's done. He's like, you got a typo right here.
He had to get one in.
He had to go. I was like,
Did he laugh at all? You
no.
Just said that. Were you laughing?
No, I didn't laugh.
That's
That's crazy.
Thinking like that, dude.
I'd say mental gymnastics at its best. At this point, I was like cutting D-Fish. I was cutting other cats and everything. D-Fish, D-Fish a nice dude. So this
I thought
parody
D-Fish
of
was bald though.
Nah, this D-Fish hair.
This is
he had a
before.
little
Oh shit.
Before this is come on, man.
Okay,
This is
okay.
I'm older, man. So yeah, he's like, you got a typo right here. So this is when I was like, okay, I'm about to fire Code for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, man, I can't afford to give you a discount. It's not gonna happen. At this point, I'm just kind of like, dude, it don't become a problem. Don't become a problem for me because I'm good. You know what I mean? So I think I called Rob. I got Rob on his number, right? So I call Rob. I'm like, look, man, I ain't Cope this. I think Cope wants me to cut him for free or something. I can't do it. I was like, I don't mind. I'll get you guys another barber, but I can't do it. He's like, all right, let me talk to him and see what's going on. So I'm like, all right, let the games begin, right? Rob calls me back. Cope was thinking that he can get his hair cut for $50. And I'm like, Rob, are you serious? Yeah, it's $50. So I'm like, Rob, I have to drive down to Laguna for $50. I was like, it's not gonna happen. I said, no way. So I stopped cutting him for probably about 2 months. At this point, my arms was folded like this. Like, all right.
You were still cutting by here at that time.
Yeah, my arms was folded because he's got an afro. You know what I'm saying? No, at this point, I might have cut it off.
Well, you gave him a ball fade. I think it was
the fade. Yeah, that's another thing. I cut him from the afro to the low cut.
That was a transition from Adidas going into
That's
Nike.
a crazy transition right there.
Exactly. So I forgot about that story. That's a whole nother thing. But yeah, I cut this iconic afro to like the Waves Kobe with the diamond earrings on the Dub magazine with the yellow Lambo. Like
81 Kobe.
Yeah, exactly. So I had told him, I was like, hey man, this is not gonna happen. So Rob called me back and was like, after a couple months, it was like, Cole really needs you, man. I was like, I bet he does. I bet he does. So he was like, but man, can you just do me this solid, man, and just cut him for the 50. I said, where is he? He said, he's in Pasadena. So I was like, oh, okay, all right, cool. It's not too far from North Hollywood.
Wait, you were watching his games though, and you can see his hair getting long?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, dude.
You knew something was off.
This is like, you're not just going, first of all, you're comfortable with me. His wife is comfortable with me, his family. You're going to have to go through a few people before you get to it. So I agreed to go cut him, but I said, Rob, listen, I cut this for $50. Y'all not offering me no game tickets. Y'all not offering me like, what's up? Like, let's work the relationship. If I cut his hair for $50, he's my client again. And I was gonna try to work out like something with Cove on the back end. He was like, deal, no problem. I go cut Cove. What's up, Jules? What's up, man? He's like, I'm kind of like laughing inside, like, yeah, whatever, such, right? Cut him. I think he might pay me cash. He might have tipped me. He might have tipped me. And I was like, all right, I'll see you next time, man. All right, bet. That was the last time I heard from Kobe.
Wow.
That was the last time, man. Wow.
That was a mind game for sure.
Oh, yeah, he gonna win.
Oh,
he did that on purpose.
He just wanted to
sure.
get you for that price one last time.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He didn't want you to leave on
Yeah.
I was like, you
Because you were winning for 2 months, dude.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, he got a couple other some other barbers that I knew of, and listen, man, I had him for 8 years.
Did he start going bald after that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
He can get the Julian.
Yeah,
But there's like, so and we talked about this earlier in the show, but you've cut so many legendary people's hairs.
Yeah.
Are there any other stories that, like, of other people playing those types of mind games or anything interesting where?
Well, I heard you say Kanye.
That's pretty crazy.
I would say
awesome.
Kanye got a great story about Kanye, man. Number one, this dude, he's brilliant. He's brilliant, and I had him before Grammy Kanye. So this is actually my sister. I mentioned my sister. She was really close to Brandy, and I get a call from her, I guess her boyfriend. His name is Big Burt Williams, and not Big Burt Williams. Sorry, Jerkins, and he said, "Hey man, I need you to come to Brandy's house." So I go up there, and Kanye's there, and my guy, big shout out to G. Robeson. He's there. G. Robeson is over at Rock Nation. So this is the whole Jay-Z tie-in with Kanye and Dame Dash. So I meet him, and he's like, "Yo, this is Kanye. He's gonna cut." Like, I'm his first LA barber. So we go downstairs and go in Brandy's bathroom on a toilet. Corey related. I cut Corey on the toilet, the bathroom. A lot of haircuts go on in the bathroom, you know what I'm saying?
They go to go bathroom. Cut you in the toilet.
This is before everybody
Cut
had,
Ye on the toilet.
Yeah, and before everybody had their own barber areas and stuff, right? So I'm in there cutting him. He's like, yo, just cut me low, but don't give me the R&B beard. He was like adamant, don't just keep me wide, because I got in a car accident and I had my jaw wired, so I want to hide the markings up here. And this was before Through the Wire.
That's his debut album type.
His debut album, so he was real conscious about hiding that.
Yeah.
But this one particular time after the haircut, I think I was in a studio, a record plant. People can relate to this with the documentary that he did. He had such a hunger, like, to be on, like, this humble kid, going back to Brandy's house, just watching him, because he was still a producer, watching him just kind of like play around sheepishly in her house, like producing beats, you know what I'm saying? And growing in the producer mindset, but also like having this artistry of, like, I know, like, he had this light that was just like embedded in him, like, yo, I need to let this universe loose that's inside of me, you know what I'm saying? And I felt it. I can't really put a word on, but you feel that hunger from somebody. And he was, at this particular time, I'm cutting him in a record plant. He's just sitting there, kind of like talking to me, but talking to himself. He's like, I can't wait to be on. He said this about 3 times. And I was like, man, I said, your time gonna come, man. Your time is gonna come. It's gonna come. And I think after that is when the whole album was done. And I cut him. He was going between Chicago and LA and other places making beats for people, right? So I get a call. G. Robles is like, yo, Kanye needs a cut. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm at the crib. He's like, yo, we're going to come through. It's like, all right, cool. So I'm in this studio apartment in Burbank, right? This is Grammy Day. Grammy. And in comes Kanye, G. Robeson, and Kanye's mom. And he's like, yo, it's my mom. Da, da, da. She sits, so I got a bed. My apartment's probably like just a little bit bigger than this place right here. And she was so proud of Kanye, dog. Like that same, if you see the documentary, that same energy, his mom, Kanye, you so crazy. Like that same warmth of like, I support my son was there. You know what I mean? She said, I like your place. I like it. Oh, I see you got some music stuff over here too. Just really engaging and stuff. So I can see Kanye's support from his mom got him to where he's at. That's why he holds, Donda so close. But what you're seeing Kanye, where he's at, is because of that light that he had inside of him, for sure.
And could you tell the first time you cut him that he was going to make that transition from producer to rapper?
I did, because I'm super intuitive, and I know success when I see it, and I think that goes to show you, like I've been around it 25 plus years. Sure. Like I'm just around it. You know what I mean? No, I don't shoot. I don't pump myself up to be something. I'm successful, but I don't like walk around with it, because if you're living in that world, then you don't really trip off of it. It is what it is. Everything that comes along with it. So yeah, it's some other cats too got that energy too.
Guys, real quick, keep it going, but I need to use the restroom really badly.
Oh,
so.
yeah, let's
like really bad.
Do you think?
I'm take a little.
You should talk about the Six Flags story,
Oh my God.
because you were telling us a little bit on the phone, but that's crazy.
Yeah, and that
With
goes
Kobe.
and it goes back to what you said, like the mind game that he had. And so I'm with my girl at that time, and all of a sudden,
Hey guys, yes, I'm on a private jet, and none of this would be possible without our sponsor, Zill Media. If you need any social media or any content done, or even start a podcast like ours, they are the best in the business. Go to zillmedia.com and mention Basement Talk for a discount on their services. Now let's get back to the episode. Let's get off this fake jet.
Go get back to the episode.
We got Marcus
I get a
popping
call,
in real
like-
quick.
Marcus is popping in.
we got because GQ stepped on the set. GQ,
Yes,
Welcome
sir.
to Basement Talk.
Yes, sir.
Grab the mic.
we gotta grab the mic.
Say
now,
what's
brother.
up. Just say what
Mr.
up to the
DNA
fans.
in the
What's
flesh.
up, fans? How you guys doing?
You look fresh.
Boy, you look fresh, brother. And so I get a call from like, hey, yo, what's going on? Hey, do you want to go to Six Flags? Six Flags. I'm like, Six Flags? I'm a big, amusement park fan. I'm like, yeah. He said, all right, well, I'll race you there.
Oh Lord.
I'm like, you gonna race me there? He said, yeah, I'm gonna race you to Six Flags. And so I'm like, all right. So here I go. I'm gone. In the car, soon I'm flying, to get to Six Flags, Great America. I get a message from Cole, like, oh man, I had a little bit of car trouble, man. But I'll beat you, I still beat you there. So I'm gonna get there. I get to Six Flags. I'm waiting. I'm like, man, I'm here first, right?
Right,
I'm
right.
waiting. And they said, well, Kobe is on his way. He had car trouble. I'm like, yeah, I know, he already told me. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the park, literally in the middle of the park,
Oh my God. No, man. This dude.
and I'm like this, like here, like trying to figure out what's going on, man. It's a damn helicopter that lands
No way.
right in the middle of the park. Literally lands in the middle of the park.
Oh my God.
Wind blowing, everything flowing. We trying to get the dust out of our eye, trying to figure out what's going on. Man, it's cold.
Oh my God.
He steps out of there, like, sorry, I'm late. And they said, hey, they're about to shut down the park for cold. The park was already going. They basically kicked everyone out.
Of course.
Because he was there. And so as I'm walking, we talking, and we're walking through, and it's about 2,000 people they see that it's Kobe. Kobe has all this security around him. You have all the people at Six Flags, their security, their managers all there. And the fans, they're screaming, "Oh, let's go Lakers," screaming. And it's, "Yeah, man, Kobe, you and D Fish are the best. You and D Fish." And I'm trying to figure out, I'm looking behind me. I said, "Cole, where D Fish at?" I'm looking for D Fish.
Oh no.
They're thinking I'm D Fish.
Oh.
So the whole time, as I'm walking their park, they're calling me Derek Fisher the entire time. So I'm like, man, I ain't no damn Derek Fisher. You know? So we get there, we walk, we get on all the rides. Like, he was adamant. He loved
amusement parks.
He loved amusement parks. And here I am, still almost like in awe of, man, I got Kobe, one of the greatest players that, you know, we got the same age and we have this connection. And he asked me to go to the amusement park. So we go into the amusement park, and there's actually some pictures of us at the amusement park. And I remember when we got on our first ride, and we just sitting there chopping about, like, man, you like this ride? Man, it's gonna be a good ride. And when I saw the picture of all of us on the actual ride, and I was just looking like this, like, and it was a picture that took a picture of me like this.
Right.
Because I was thinking about, like, damn, like I would go to amusement parks with my family, you know, with my boys, whoever we wanted to go with. And here I am with one of the best players in the NBA, and we're chopping it up. We're enjoying this time, getting popcorn, hot dogs, just chilling. And we are on this, and I was stuck in that moment. It was like a timeless moment of I would say more the humanity in Cole.
Exactly.
On, if you really didn't know him, like, some people were completely out of this circle. And the type of family man that he was, and the people that he actually cared for, like, he treated them the right way, treated them with a lot of respect. And to have that, you know, back then with Vanessa, and to see that he opened that up, you know, for me to be able to enjoy that part, that's probably one of the most memorable moments with Cole, because he was still a young kid at that time. We were still young. You know, we were still, you know, for me personally, I was grinding, right? I was grinding to be one of the best players. But here is a guy that was at this level, and he was still grinding, but he was still a kid at heart. He was still a kid. He still wanted to enjoy things. But when it came to that basketball side of it, it was a whole different animal.
Yeah.
You know, where we went to the music park, here I am thinking, like, oh, shoot, I'm about to be working out with Cole.
Right.
You know, hanging out with him. Man, I ain't hear from that dude. I ain't even hear from him until we played our first game against him. We played against him. And all I remember is, like, trying to watch film. Okay, this dude, he was on a tear too. Watching film. I said, yeah, I'm about to go get him. You know, every single move that I was trying to do, that I watched film of Kobe, he was sitting on every single move. He didn't talk to me. He didn't even dap me up before the game. Like, it was like this whole. It's almost similar to, like, Kevin Garnett. Most people don't know how KG was as a player. KG was dominant. He'd be talking to himself. I mean, he'd be saying the craziest things ever as a player. And you would swear that he's talking to you, but he was so focused and intense in the game of basketball that he didn't want anything around him to shake what he was doing. And if you weren't on his train, you were off of his train. And so I remember trying to come up and dap to him. He was like, gave me one of these. So, like a dap. Damn.
Did we talk about that last time?
Yeah. I'm like, damn, brother.
No, we talked about that last time. Remember when you, like, hit Powell?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that was
Olympics.
in the Olympics. So it was like this whole other animal. And every single play, I'm trying to drive, spin. Oh, I'm sitting on that. It was one move that he did that I was watching. Every day I would watch this clip. And that whole entire week, I was getting players on that actual move, get him spin, go towards the baseline, and you kind of put it between your legs. And as you're turning, you're going right into your spin because you had so much space to get to the basket. I'm going to take off for dunks or I'm getting fouled at the rim. And as soon as I did the move, oh, you've been watching my film, huh? Yeah, I know. No, you're not getting. And I was shook. I'm like, damn, he
read your mind.
Next move. Oh yeah, you're watching
during the game?
This is during the game.
Oh,
yeah. No. I'm sitting on that. I'm sitting on that move. And that entire game, I was so frustrated by it. And at the end of the game, he tapped me up back of the head, like, hey, brother, young fella, hey, keep working. Make sure you keep watching that film. I was pissed.
dang.
I was so pissed off because here I am thinking like, we cool, we fam. I done went to the amusement park.
No, sir.
He got you comfortable.
Exactly. And he literally ripped my heart out from that because I remember the next game after, I believe we played the Dallas Mavericks. And I was so upset about that game that I wanted to try to kill the next game. Mm-hmm. And man, I had a donut. Man, I had 0 points that game.
Oh snap!
I mean, I still remember I had 0 points because I was shook about that part. Mm-hmm. And I was averaging at that time. I was probably averaging, maybe 20 a game around that time. Mm-hmm. And I remember that part of it because, honestly, this league is very different now, where you have buddy.
They're
friends.
all friendly.
Everybody's friends. Everybody train with each other in the summer, mm-hmm. right? And I'm not saying nothing is wrong with
Social media, all that.
And there were certain players, in my era and a little bit before, that their game, everything that they did was secretive. Clyde Drexler is a great friend of mine, 50 greatest players of all time. And Clyde Drexler never, ever let anyone watch him work out. He never went to the training facility to let anyone see what he did. And he told me, he's like, hey, Corey, you just can't show everybody what you're doing. And that was one of the ways that I looked at it. I wanted to, when they saw me on the court, they were going to remember me on how I dominated them, but they never knew exactly what I did. The only way that they would knew at that time when Clyde was playing, when they had team film sessions, but it wasn't how it is now, where you have social media. You had accessibility to be able to watch things real time. Okay, I saw this move. I'm about to go apply this move. No, back in that time, you didn't have that. Mm-hmm. So it was a different level of secrecy that people respected their game, and it was more of, you go back and watch tapes that I hated you, you hated me.
It was a problem.
It was a problem. But now in the league today, and I'm not saying that it's bad, but you see where the friendships of the game where it's buddy.
Yeah.
Was Kobe ever talking about like LeBron when you were cutting him?
No, he didn't
Never?
give no respect to nobody, man. And
He just didn't talk about LeBron at all.
He
Like,
didn't, he
he's
didn't. No,
That's crazy.
No, bro. And I'll tell you this is like to go back and talk about the kind of like the intimate moments with Kobe. There's, if he's rocking with you, he's rocking with you. Let's get that out the way, And back to like the China store when I went with him and like having those moments of like, yo, I'm here with this dude. No, I literally walked the Great Wall of China with Kobe.
Wow.
Like to the top. And I was kind of like, yo, I'm going up. And as I'm walking up, he's in front of me. And these ain't like regular steps. These are handmade steps from ancient times. Like, so it's like a big one here. It's like a little one. And then, you jog a little bit. But it was, the height of it, sitting there. And we sat, and that's where we kind of like took that picture. And you can just see the mountains, man. And that was a moment for me to where I was like, dang. This is dope.
Yeah.
To sit here with a legend. I think he's, you know, he was a legend then, but I think he hadn't reached that like infamous level yet, you know, but he definitely was a champion, you know what I mean? So the part where if he's rocking with you, he give you those intimate moments, but as soon as I thought that there was a window, it was like, hey, buddy. He told me, he was like, because I was always wondering, Kobe never had friends. If I went to his house, it was him, his wife, and them 2 Pomeranians in there. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, you should be playing video games at this age. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Have somebody up in the crib, like, you know, like friend. No, there was nobody there. I think I might have met his cousin one time, and I was like, oh, there's somebody right here. He's like, yo, Jules, my cousin right there. I was like, man.
But just ran even to that where, I mean, his sister, Shea, I mean, Shea was awesome, bro. Like there were several times, you know, in LA that she looked out for me, you know, because of the respect that I had for her brother. And so he was that guy that, like I said, from the respect of Shea and hanging out with her and how she looked out for me when I was in California. And then, you know, you hear Kobe, hey man, I appreciate you, you know, my sister said you're a good dude. You know, like cool things like that, because at the end of the day, we are all family, man. You guys are brothers, right? You guys get to experience this awesome part of media, doing it together. And, you know, he loved his family. It's like he loves, you know, his kids. He loved his wife and all that. But again, it was really about the synergy that he had with certain people. You know, and that goes to like Rob. You know, Rob was his guy.
For sure. You
know, I would say because he didn't have his friends around, his agent, Rob Pelinka, at that time was his best friend. Yeah. Because Rob did everything for Kobe, to help Kobe, to maximize Kobe. And most people don't know, you know, the story on how that all happened because, you know, I was with SFX Sports at the time. SFX was owned by Arn Tellem. Rob Pelinka, Bob Myers, all these big-time individuals that are GMs in their right, presidents, and have moved on, they started there at SFX Sports. And Rob had a vision of, hey, I wanted to start my own thing. And his own thing was Landmark Sports. He had some incredible people that he was trying to bring on, lady by the name of Erica Wilfong, who was like at his right-hand man at that time. He had some really cool people that supported what Rob was trying to do. And Rob saw an avenue and he swerved this way and said, hey, man, I'm about to start my own thing. And I remember him sitting, Cole was at his office. I was there. I said, hey, man, I'm thinking about starting my own agency. You know, would you two guys be interested in leaving and coming to be a part of Landmark Sports? And so that's how it started. So, you know, Landmark Sports started because Kobe, first of all, he was one of the biggest players at that time, but we were his first 2 clients.
And if Kobe rock with you, like I'll go back to if you were good at something, because he made it clear, like, Julian, I rock with you because you're great at what you do. He literally said, and that from that point, I was able to make the divide from friendship to professional.
It's out of respect.
It was respect. And I think too that where, for me, it wasn't that we had the same agent, but the respect level, I would say, started the Lakers versus the Clippers. And this was like early on in my career. And I remember getting in the game and Kobe was talking so much trash. I mean, so much trash to everybody on the court. And here I am, you know, I'm a young dude from Chicago, and, you know, I always had that dog in me. So I just wasn't gonna let anybody just talking trash. And I remember, man, I lit his ass up. It was like 18 in the quarter. And, you know, I was talking trash to him, right back to him. And my dogs at the time, they were on the team, Quentin Richardson and Darius Mounds and those guys. Oh, my dog, man. Look at CM out there killing him. Boy, he's out there killing him. And after the game, he kind of hit me on the butt. And he said, gave me like one of those. That was the initiation process because of the respect of, like, I was going back at him. And that was a time, and it led to like, hey man, what you doing? Like, hey man, what you and that opened the door. It was, again, it goes to like the initiation of respect.
How the relationship
started. How it all started. It wasn't it started from a competitive nature, and then organically moved from there. But you had to earn the respect of that individual, especially when a game that he thought that he was the best, that there was no other player that was better than him. There was no other player that worked harder than him on the court. He honestly, truly believed that.
But he put the pieces of the puzzles of people who he respected. If you see how he would recruit, call people up and be like, yo, if he's training with Corey, there's a reason why.
Yeah.
Period. He sees something in Corey, he's like, I need that Lego piece. Put that right here.
It was strategic.
Yeah, it was
I
strategic.
really believe that it was strategic on, like, I want to take pieces from everyone's game to be the greatest creative player, right? Just like, guys, we know that he mimicked Michael Jordan. He was the ultimate mimicker when it came to Mike. He did everything. I mean, he idolized Michael in the right until it took off on his own. When you compare those individuals, and I played with both of them, he did everything exactly the same. Everything. He wanted to be Mike.
Sure.
Like, he really wanted to be Mike. But when he found himself and Mike was able to retire and move on, that's when he knew that it was no other person like
him, spot a little bit.
like to fulfill that spot. So,
what sucks the most though is, like, I don't know how many interviews he's done or podcasts. I haven't really watched too much on that, but like, I wish he could almost obviously sit down here, and if you could see a reaction on his face from the stuff you guys both said, it would be so interesting.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I remember he did the podcast with Q Rich, the Knuckleheads, and a couple other guys before he passed. And later on in Kobe's life, you really saw who Kobe was.
For sure.
He opened up.
He opened up so much, and I think that's because he truly appreciated what the game of basketball did. The people that he was around, the support system. I mean, same for me. When you think about what the game of basketball can actually elevate you to and take you to, it's nothing other like it. In sports in general, it gives you avenues or people that you can touch that you will probably never touch. And so, when I look at that part of Kobe, it was something different. When he's closer to his retirement, and in my eyes, you felt like people really liked him more. But he was able to share more information
because
he wasn't like that. You couldn't touch Kobe.
He could turn. It gave him a lane, the ability to turn off.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
So,
and Julian, I want to kind of go back because we've talked about Kobe a lot. Obviously, we talked about Kanye. I want to talk a little bit about. You used to cut so many other amazing people. Some being Usher. Before the podcast, I heard P. Diddy, and you ran into Epstein. I want to hear some of that stuff. So I want to hear this stuff because that's
I didn't
crazy.
hear this. Let me sit back up with this one, brother, man.
So, I don't know if we want to touch on it, but
I mean, it's nothing like no one didn't hear. It's my perspective, what I been around is just. It's crazy. So, I mean, since P. Diddy is like, that's hot, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like everything in the news right now.
Yeah, such a it's sad, man. But, however, it's Hollywood, you feel me? But quick story, Nas was one of my clients. He was actually label mates with Kobe, both on Columbia Records. So Nas became my client probably in 2003, I think. And I started really working with him, close with him. I would meet him at the studios, of course, when he was doing records. And in comes Diddy, or whatever Sean called him, Puff. And I'm cutting Nas.
Dude, we got someone pulling up baby oil. Marcus pulled up some baby oil.
Relax.
Shout out DNA.
Yeah, yo.
Man.
I'm cutting Nas, and everybody knows that Nas got you as his barber. You pretty much that guy. Nas is known for the fade, and the hook part, right? So I'm cutting Nas, and obviously I'm just minding my own business, but I see him out the corner of my eye. What's up, man? How you doing? Whatever. So at the end of the cut, I'm packing up, and this girl comes over to me. Excuse me, what's your name? I said, Julian Payne. Mr. Combs would like to get your information so we get a cut. Do you do house calls, whatever? I'm like, yeah, of course, whatever. So I give her my information, whatever, and, a week later, I get a phone call. Hey, this is, so-and-so, I forget her name. Let's call her Nicole, whatever. Nicole from Combs' assistant, Mr. Combs' assistant, and I want to see if you can meet him over at the Boom Boom Room. This is Will Smith's studio in Burbank. So I'm like, sure, what time? It's like, next couple hours. I said, all right, cool. So I used to cut there all the time, so I know my way around, whatever. So I'll go in, and here it is. Busta Rhymes is there. Of course, Diddy, couple other people maybe I don't recognize. So I'm like sitting on the couch waiting. I just let them know that I'm there. Sitting on the couch waiting, watching TV. I'm waiting.
Damn.
I'm like 2 hours waiting.
Wow.
So I kind of like go into the studio, and it's like music popping, Buster's in there. He's doing this thing, rapping this stuff. They just going in, right? So I'm like, man, I'm like, you get your cut? He's like, oh, yeah. So he's like, yo, set up. You set up right here. So it's like one of those studio chairs, like an engineer's in there, you know what I mean? So I get in. First of all, dude, I can't see. Y'all got to turn the lights up. So I'm like cutting him.
Holy.
And like, how particular he is about his hair, right? So I'm like gingerly like cutting him or whatever. And I'm like, these motherfuckers, they high. They in here blazed out. I don't know what it was, but I was like, hold your head still. For one, I'm like constantly readjusting them, constantly. I can't work under these conditions. So luckily, I got through. Following week, I get another call. Come back. Same thing. Like I'm just waiting and waiting. I'm just like, this guy right here, man. I left.
Wow.
I get up, I leave. I had a call a couple hours later. Are you still? No, I left. Like I'm out of here. I just didn't play like that. I wasn't gonna be like trying to hang out or whatever. And she was like, well, can you think you can come back? I was like, hey, I'll come back tomorrow, whatever. So as a matter of fact, I remember my guy, James Cruz. This is one of my guys, James Cruz. Big shout out to James Cruz. He works close with Diddy. And he was like, yo, what's up? I need a cut. I'm like, all right, cool. So once I get Diddy, it's like a bounce down. It's like, you're going to get the manager. You're going to get
in between.
You might around get the pool guy or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's Grammy weekend. So everybody needs a cut. So I go to the hotel, cut James. He's like, yo, it's a white party, The white party. So I'm like, all right, bet. I got some white at this time.
Diddy white party.
It's infamous white party, baby. You know what I mean?
Infamous now.
It's in the daytime, so I'll go over there, man. It's in Beverly Park. Everybody know you go in Beverly Park, it's gated. You got Stallone in there. You got Suge Knight got a house in there. You got Eddie Murphy, Denzel. It's the place to be of the ultra wealthy, right? So we go in, the house is white, chandelier drop is, go in the back is pool. It's a real situation. I don't know if it must have been by Ciroc. Exactly, it was by Ciroc. So he's doing these parties for Ciroc at this house. So we go in, party, DJ. Diddy is Diddy. This is his element. Let's not get it twisted. The dude know how to throw a party.
King of parties.
That's debatable, but yeah.
He knows how to throw the
Depends on what kind of party you want.
I don't know.
Right. Now,
There's levels to that, right?
there's levels to that. Now, let me tell you something.
But it looked sick, yeah.
I didn't survive in Hollywood without knowing when to leave, all right?
Yeah.
So it's a day party. So I done have my fun, with my girl, whatever. I'm like, it's time to go.
What's the time? What's the time cut off at a Diddy party? When do you have to know to leave?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, it gets Diddy.
The baby oil starts coming out at 8 o'clock. Or
It's
They're
8.
not serving shots, they're serving
The shuttles are leaving. It's like this. It's like this, man. It's like, I mentioned that I'm super intuitive. I watch. I party, but I watch. Like, I'm not a heavy drinker. I don't smoke drugs. So I'm alert. You know what I mean? Plus my girl with me. You know what I mean? So I'm like seeing people I know, blah, blah, blah. It's almost so much that you can do. But I'm like, okay, shuttles is packing up. Some people leaving, some people hanging back. But I'm seeing like, everybody know there's recruiters. Everybody has recruiters, okay? It's just...
Hey, Julie, I don't.
Wait, what do we mean by recruiter?
What is a recruiter?
not the type of recruiters you know, Corey. I think it's a different.
No, actually, yeah.
Corey
I was thinking the same thing as Corey,
got
though.
recruited for the NBA.
man, listen,
We're
man,
talking about like female type recruiters.
Gatekeepers.
No, but like during the
You got
party
female,
recruiters?
you got
Like, what do we mean by
female- you
that?
got
Gatekeepers.
female
People trying to
recruiters,
keep
man.
the women past
people
date type
who
thing.
scout.
Gatekeepers.
They're scouts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what you do. And it's time for me to get up out of there.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's the signal.
Yeah,
How many parties did you go to?
Oh, that's what
I mean,
Yeah.
actually, the first one I went to was another Grammy weekend. It wasn't White Party. It was down in Beverly Hills, which was it was really dope.
Who were some cool people in there though that you saw?
Man, who wasn't in there?
I wasn't in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, we
I mean,
the
it's
record.
like this. It's like it's Grammy weekend, so you
Every
want
artist.
industry people there. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like I can't even remember like if it was somebody ultra famous in there. It was more like industry people, label people that work in with Diddy, with Ciroc. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll see like another, hairstylist friend of mine or something like that. You just kind of like move around. Everybody's wearing white, so it's not going to super stand out unless you're like, oh, this is a cabana over here and so-and-so VIP area. It's a DJ. They're going to be behind the DJ booth. So it's a lot of room. You know what I'm saying? So nothing.
With your like experience in like that industry and that culture, who do you think like the next Diddy will be?
The next Diddy.
I don't know. People they learn their lesson, man. You don't want to be part of that.
Marcus.
Nah, I don't. He's a
Have you cut his hair?
No. That's the only one I didn't get to.
Who's
But
your
crazy.
dream
My
like
God.
dream
Yeah.
dream cut? Like you can
dream cut?
Yeah, like somebody that you'd
know, I might be
really
past
enjoy
that.
cutting or you wish you cut.
I'm a knowledge guy, so it will probably be Obama.
Wow,
Whoa.
that would be a crazy cut.
It will probably be him.
And who's
You
your
know.
favorite client you've ever had?
Besides Corey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you got one sitting right there. That's your guy.
Oh no, he's just like my bro right here, man. So my favorite that I really enjoyed was Eddie Murphy. I really enjoyed working with him. I got like Johnny Gill, I had Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard was
That was forever.
What was
it's
that like?
forever. Sugar Ray Leonard is an incredible guy, man. Super humble. It's so funny, man. These boxers, man, athletes, they are such teddy bears inside, dude.
Yeah. That's what we notice because we're always around.
We have
fighters.
a bunch of UFC fighters on there, like the most genuine people.
Yeah, man, so
They get
humble.
humbled every day.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? I think it's like I call it the switch, you know. And he talks about being scared going into the ring every time. And you know, this dude took some hits, almost lost an eye. So it's this switch that champions turn on, and that goes from music artists to people in the entrepreneurial space, athletes, of course. You know, you entering into that arena, that's your domain. You know what I mean? So working with Sugar Ray Leonard was great, and I've known him since I was a kid. We both from the same area. My sister actually dated his son when they were young and ran into him back out here in L.A. So he's a long time friend of mine. So, but with think like Obama, yeah, I would have loved to sit down with him and just chop it up.
Have you ever had like because you're in LA, like some dude like hitting on you while you're cutting his hair?
Ooh.
Back to the Diddy party.
Did I?
Let me see. That was
Kobe, what'd you think?
Yeah, where did you think?
No, but I think I escaped some. I thought turned some other barbers on it and escaped some situations, and I was like, really?
Crazy question.
Yeah. Well,
Pause.
Oh, yo, like, listen, man. I think if you are a victim, you'll be a victim. Let that sink in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's deep.
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's wild in the jungle.
Yeah.
And if you are a victim, you'll be a victim.
Zach.
You know what I mean? So
Kobe's getting a little too close to me here after asking that question.
Zach's a victim.
Okay, I want
Zach's a victim.
I want to go back to this real quickly though. What's the deal with Epstein?
oh yeah, well, I'll tell you this, like, that's not even really a quick story. I'll just tell you, like, everybody knows who this guy is, but I'm like, another client of mine was Chris Tucker. So I'm flying to like everywhere with Chris. This is my guy, man. Love him 100%. And close with him. So he's like, yo, I'm going to New York. One of the many times I've flown to New York to meet him. And this particular time, he's like, yo, we're going to stay at the, check in the Waldorf Astoria. And I'm like, man, I ain't seen this coming to America. I'm about to go to Waldorf Astoria. I'm like, shoot. So I go in. This is everything that you see in the movie. It's like chandeliers everywhere, like big room. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Free room service. Like I'm in New York, back home, back east, and it's just like I'm gonna enjoy this time, right? This is a great time. I think it must have been like probably 2006 or something like that. It's a great time in America. So in New York with him, I cut him as soon as I get there, and we hit the streets. We go to a couple spots that night. I actually go to Justin's, which was Diddy's restaurant. He opens Justin's. It's named after his son. Mm-hmm. So that was like the hot spot to go to. Go there, eat dinner, and we go hang out at some club. Being in New York, obviously you'll see a bunch of celebrities out. So after that, we don't hang out late. Of course, he leaves. Chris is at this point, he's like rush hour Chris. You know what I'm saying? So he's a big following, big people, cameras popping and all that. So we finally get back to the hotel, wake up, and he's like, hey, tomorrow I got to leave the country, and I'm going to need you guys to meet me at JFK with my bags and stuff. So like, okay, cool. So I think we had one more night out, and it was like a free night. We didn't have to work or anything like that. So fast forward to the time we're leaving, I cut him again. Now he's really close. a lot of people don't know, Chris is like international. Well, people know Chris is international. If you go to Hong Kong or China, it's big, crazy. We talking about Rush Hour, Jackie Chan. You know what I'm saying? This is huge.
Legendary.
So he has a lot of power in other countries. You know what I mean? Very charismatic. He's going to say the joke, hey, man, this is what we going to do. Just super loose, right? So he's like, I have to go to Africa because it's a family that's called the Gabongs. The Gabong family is like royalty. A lot of people don't know that. It's like royal. When you talk about coming to America, this is the real.
Like the real thing.
This the real thing. They got their own money. You feel what I'm saying? So I come in, this dining table probably about, it's like 20 seats long. The whole Gabon family's
$500 cuts.
Yeah. I definitely, I didn't cut them, but they got the money, trust me. So I see Chris, he's with the family talking over dinner or whatever. He's like, yo, I need you guys to meet me there. So I say, okay, cool. So we get I get the information for his bags and everything. He's like, a bunch of bags. So we get the limo in the morning, wake up, get the limo. I make sure I snatch one of those robes, one of those Waldorf Astoria robes, and I leave out. And we get in the limo, me and his assistant gets in the limousine, and we ride to JFK, like off with the bags, right? So, regular, if you ever been to JFK, this is back in the day, it's, you got Delta, you got American Airlines, we drop you off. Well, we pass that, we go around the back, tarmac. So, pop the trunk, chauffeur gets out, whatever, unloads the bags. He's like, I'll be right here. So I take the bags up, his assistant takes the bags up, and we're going up the plane. Like, this is like Air Force One type stairs, going up. The doorway's here, like a regular doorway plane, but in this airplane right here, it was like a living room in there. This was different. This plane was different, bro. It's like a chandelier in there. It's like a couch, like a wraparound couch.
Ping pong table?
No, with no ping pong table. It was enough in there for a damn pool table, though. Enough room in there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking. I said, my man's in the corner over there. I'm like, oh, fucking Kevin Spacey over this mug. So I'm like, oh shit, this is crazy, right? So he's over there reading the paper. Like, I'm dead as I'm sitting in this chair reading the paper. And I put the bags down and I walk over, right? He's like, hey, how's it going? I said, how you doing? He said, yeah, I'm Kevin. Shake his hand, whatever. I'm like, damn, like I was the big Kevin Spacey fan, bro. So I'm like, this is crazy. Plane is ridiculous. I get to meet Kevin Spacey. I go back down, get more bags, come back up. Now, when you come in, go into a big plane, right? They got one row, they got an area here, then they got a space, then they got another row here. The middle row, just call that's like the living room. That's gone. So I pass the first row. This girl come out. I'm like, oh, she's kind of cute, right? It's white chick. So I'm like, man, she got the little collar popped up, little shirt, whatever, some tied up and stuff. And got the little skirt on. I'm like, oh, she kind of cute. I put the bags down, go back downstairs, come back up, more bags. She said, oh, are you joining us today? I was like, no, I'm just here to drop some bags off, right? And she said, oh, okay. Oh, well, have a good day, whatever, right? So I'm like, cool. So me and Chris' assistant, we go back downstairs. Well, I'm down there. I'm getting in the limo. I'm like, she's cute, but she look kind of young.
What's her name?
She looked kind of young. I forget her name. I don't even know. I didn't get her name. So, man, fast forward years later. I think this is probably like 2000 and whenever the Epstein story came
2020, 2019.
Okay.
Like around there.
2019, exactly. So this is 8 years, something like that. 10 years later. I'm like, why? I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Pops up in your thing. Oh, it's interesting, cool. I'm watching it, listening to it. I'm like episodes in. I'm like, dang, this is crazy. Like trafficking and all this type of stuff. I'm a big documentary guy, right? So I'm gonna go back in the kitchen, start fixing a sandwich. So this girl is talking. She's like, yeah, so I was in New York and, you know, I was just enamored with all these movie stars and this and that. And, you know, I was going to be going to Africa with Epstein, and this was going to be a great experience. And on this, you know, planes like the Clintons, I was going to meet the Clintons. I was going to meet Chris Tucker. I was going to meet these guys. It's just, so I'm like, wait. I go around my little wall area, and I'm like, Chris, I'm like, they showed a plane. And I'm like, oh, holy, my dog, have you ever have gotten goosebumps to the point to where like it's all over your body, your pores open up? That's how I felt for like 10 minutes. And I'm sitting there with a sandwich in my hand like, holy shit.
That's the plane.
Like, that's the plane.
The girl talking, though, was that the girl on board?
Yes, but
No
she was
way.
older.
Wow.
So she was a little
What
girl
the
when
heck?
you saw her.
She wasn't little. She was like 17,
Holy
16.
moly.
However age she
Yeah.
was, that was the young lady that I met.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So I think, you know, and like Chris is my guy.
Yeah.
He's my guy. And I know his heart. I know his family, right? I think that, you know, he almost got caught up into that. And if you really think about it, Chris went back to church. He went radio silent for a long time.
He did a whole flip.
Yeah.
Chris.
Tucker.
When he stopped doing movies.
He stopped doing movies. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember
He
that.
stopped.
Because that was big.
He stopped cussing. He stopped all that. You feel me? So I wouldn't be surprised if the Alphabet Boys reached out to him, you know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, I run into him every now and then, and it's like, it's not the same energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rightfully so, you know what I'm saying?
You go through something like that.
Yeah, and this is like, I was fortunate not to ever witness anything crazy and salacious about any of my clients.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? And I think that's by God's grace, to be honest. You know what I mean?
100%.
And knowing anyone that probably boarded his plane at one point, it doesn't mean everyone participated in what happened. I think he was trying to pull people in and have them do something that they didn't want to do.
You don't want to. You can't handle the truth. like it's like you don't want to know
You don't.
Yeah.
at that point, dude. Because
It's just messy.
I mean, it's more than messy. It's bloody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think in all honesty, man, there's levels to everything. And Hollywood obviously has a lot of doors that have been revealed. I mean, it's not new.
There's always stuff going on.
It's not new, dog. We got our own economy here in California. And Hollywood is one of the reasons why. We don't need money from anybody. So where there's money, there is everything else that follows it. You feel me?
Good and bad.
Yeah, of course. So,
100%.
you know,
Dude,
hey, shout out
you.
to, you know, hey, getting and coming out clean on the other end. You know what I'm saying?
no.
Yeah, for
Julian's
sure.
not on the flight log.
Yeah. So I mean, it's. I think at the end of the day, being a celebrity barber comes with a lot of perks, but I mean, you really have to know how to navigate. And because I never try to compound I'm not perfect, you know what I'm saying, but I don't attach things that are going to compound my troubles. And I have family, man. I always kept that in front of me, and God is my life. I keep that in the forefront, and I really think, you know, rest in peace, my dad looks over me. He's always prayed for favor on my life, favor on his life, and I came with that same prayer. God, give me favor. I never asked for money. I got favor. I have great relationships. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I don't have to tell people who I know. Like one of my big bro is, well, I'm about to name drop. I don't have to tell people who I know about the name drop. Jay Brown, you know what I'm saying? He's the head of Rock Nation. That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? And like the people who I've touched and built relationships with is good enough for me. Like I met Jay-Z with him in Bellagio. Everybody know Bellagio is one of Jay-Z's favorite places to go in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm not the guy who's like, hey, yo, let me cut you. No, my tactic, to be honest, was I'm going to cut the guy next to him, 2 people removed from the star. Make him look fresh. If you want to know my secret, Barber's out there. Cut the guy 2 people removed from the star. Because when he shows up and he's the errand guy and he looking fresher than the star,
They're going to ask.
of course.
That could go for podcast guests too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah, man. So, you know, it's been good. Obviously, there's some good money that comes along with it. I'm still here in LA. I ain't been kicked out. So, but I'm kind of in the back end, still traveling around. We shout out to Ron Isley. You know, he's one of my guys. Cutting in Dallas every week, working, and then St. Louis and other places. You know, so it's been good.
That's amazing.
Dude, thank you so much for making the drive down here.
Yeah, we appreciate
it's just
it.
down
I
the street,
appreciate
man.
it.
What we gonna do? We're
this.
gonna definitely drive in LA.
Yeah,
It ain't New York.
Corey,
Yeah, man.
thank you again, dude.
Yeah, thanks for
We'll
coming
have you-
on.
We'll keep having you on. We'll do this again.
Yeah,
too.
we gotta have
Yeah.
a part 2. We
But
got
there's
stuff
a
to
lot
cover
we
for
could-
sure. You have
Thank you
stories
guys
for days.
so much. Thank you, internet, for finding this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for
We
bringing
lo-
him to us.
Yeah.
It's been
Wait,
amazing.
they found Julian?
They
Yeah,
found
they're-
you.
Yeah,
They
it's
made-
like a mashup of DMs and me
then
reaching out and
him
then
reaching out, and then
yeah.
We all
it's
got
crazy.
connected.
The
Yeah.
secret,
dope.
the secret
But-
barber isn't a
But
secret
it was really
anymore.
Corey.
Madison.
Shout out Corey, man.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
thank
man.
you.
Corey,
Nah,
thank you.
I was like, oh, I ain't heard. I thought Corey was gone, like that. I mean, like out of
No,
LA.
no.
I was
Yeah.
like,
I was for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's back.
You moved. Yeah, you did move. You did move.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming on.
All
Yeah,
good,
we
man.
appreciate it.
Thank
This
you
has been
guys,
awesome.
Kyler, Zach. Thank you guys so much for watching. And then before we go, I just want to give a shout out to DNA.
Yes, sir.
Everybody check it out. My favorite flavor is the
good.
orange. Go to Amazon right now and get it. You'll stay focused
man.
for your meeting, before a workout, after a workout, everything. So everybody check out
headaches.
DNA.
Subscribe.
Yes, sir.
Subscribe,
Yeah, hit
like
that
this
subscribe
video,
button.
share it to
Sir.
your friends, and we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Sir.
Peace.